This is Pastor Tim coming to you from Central Texas, from the Hill Country, two small churches, Lomita and Bend, in our small communities, trying to build a foundation to understand the faith. And one of the central tenets of that faith is to base it on the Scripture. The Scripture is God's story all through the generations of how God works, how people encounter that was holy and write about it, so that other people can read about it and by reading experience that same presence of God. We've been talking about Jesus being the good shepherd and the gate to the sheep pen. But one of the things characteristic about a good shepherd is Jesus said that the good shepherd lays down his life for his sheep. That means that you care more about your sheep than you do yourself. Most people who are leaders, most people who try to get your attention, care more about themselves than they do about the people that they are trying to lead. Many leaders of all sorts in business and in church, in politics, are out for their own benefit. That's why they read polls to see which way the wind blows. They don't say what is good for somebody, because sometimes it's kind of hard. Sometimes it's painful, but you must care more about the sheep than you do yourself. It says a hireling will run when it gets tough, when leadership gets hard, when you have to make hard choices, when you have to sometimes do unpleasant things. People will run if it costs them anything, if it causes them any kind of pain, if it causes them to lose their power and authority, they run. But the good shepherd cares more about the sheep than he does himself. That's how you can tell somebody's a good pastor, if they care more about the sheep with the parishioners in the church than they do about their own honor, about their own paycheck, about their own benefit, about their own name. So Jesus is saying that he cares about his sheep, and he proves it by giving up his life for the sake of others. When you might expect Jesus would stand up and fight, instead he surrenders and goes to the cross because he gives up his life for the sake of others. He's not going to fight for his own well-being. He gives it up for somebody else. That's a good test of whether someone is a follower of Jesus Christ, if they're not concerned about their own reputation, if they're not concerned about their own pleasure, if they're not concerned about their own power, they're more concerned about the people, and they really do serve them. I think that's a great sign of whether or not you're a follower of the Good Shepherd. I hope that's helpful. I'll see you next time.